Erling Haaland's best career goal, Manchester City's crazy record, Liverpool's historic achievement, and Barcelona's revenge against Bayern for the humiliation of 4 years ago. Flick's gang trashes their new coach's former club. We talk about this and much more. Today, friends, this is Football Touch and a hot selection of the most interesting news. Real Madrid made a simply outstanding comeback in the match against Borussia Dortmund, but this victory cost the team dearly. The creamy ones were down 0-2 after the first half and were even booed by their own fans when they went on break. However, a completely different Real came out on the field for the second half. The Bumblebees decided to play defensively. And against the creamy ones, such tactics never work. If you don't pressure Madrid until the final whistle, you will regret it later. Only those teams that chose bold tactics had success against Madrid. So the creamy ones royally took out the cowardly opponent in the second half, but this victory cost them two key players right before El Clasico. Rodrigo got injured during the game and had to be replaced since he could not continue. It was Rodrigo's actions that led to Madrid being able to score the winning goal against Gregor Kobel. He kept the ball in play and then passed it to Lucas Vázquez, who swiftly overcame Borussia's defense and scored. But Rodrigo couldn't enjoy such an emotional moment. He felt discomfort, and it was decided to send him to the bench. Yesterday, it became known that the Brazilian suffered a hamstring injury in his right leg. The exact recovery time is still unknown, as he will undergo a full examination today, which will determine the severity of the injury. However, he will definitely miss the next match, and this will not just be any match, it will be a duel against Barcelona in La Liga, where the first place in the Spanish Championship is at stake, a classic game worth 6 points. This match will also be missed by Thibaut Courtois, who has been diagnosed with an injury to the adductor muscle of his left thigh. The Belgian will be out for up to 3 weeks and will also miss El Clasico. However, there is Lunin in reserve, who has repeatedly proven that he can cover for Real in a difficult moment. As for Rodrigo's position, it seems to me that the creamy ones will find someone to fill in. Currently, there is no direct replacement for Brazilians in Real, but there are options for changing formations. For example, Bellingham could move closer to the attacking line, Vinicius could be transferred to the right flank, and Mbappé could take the left, thus compensating for Rodrigo's absence. Nevertheless, it will be difficult against Barcelona. Unlike Madrid, they seem to be returning to form with players who have been absent for a long time and are approaching El Clasico in excellent shape. It will be tough for the creamy ones against such a Barcelona. Flick's Kevin De Bruyne is now at a crossroads. His contract with the Citizens is ending, and he is not in a hurry to renew it. Perhaps he is tired of the constant pressure in European football and wants to enjoy the end of his career. Nevertheless, the option of renewing the contract is still on the table. The Belgian could join Cristiano Ronaldo at Al Nassr. The Portuguese himself wanted to see the midfielder in his gang, and management is currently working in this direction. But De Bruyne also has a third option for continuing his career. He could move to the USA. Many European football stars have preferred Saudi money over the cool American championship. One example is Messi, who rejected an offer of €1 billion for the chance to play in a city that is dear to him. Messi has been preparing for his move to Miami for a long time and even bought a house there a few years before the transfer itself. Other famous players have joined the Argentine. By the way, I haven't gotten into the vibe of the world's main resort yet, and I'm currently thinking about moving to Chicago. As for De Bruyne, following Messi, he is also planning to move. However, it's not Miami that's vying for him. The league is only starting next season, but it seems like the team will be very ambitious and will immediately aim for first place in its conference, so they are selecting players according to these ambitions. Management hasn't lost hope of signing Sergio Ramos. Negotiations have been ongoing for a long time, but something unexpectedly intervened in the process. However, it would be a shame not to take advantage of the chance to play at the highest level again. De Bruyne, in choosing between Saudi Arabia and the USA, seems to prefer the latter. However, he understands that he will seriously lose money by leaving Man City. He earns £400,000 a week there. In Saudi Arabia, they are ready to offer him appropriate conditions, possibly even better. But in MLS, no one will offer such a salary, even Messi earns less. However, there are other documents, like the club's income from merchandise sales and broadcasting rights, which can lure De Bruyne financially. They could offer a fixed salary that is low, but there would be a percentage from sales and other perks provided that Kevin wants to play in MLS. Such an approach could work. Manchester City faced no difficulties in their match against Sparta Prague, securing a confident 5 o'clock victory with complete dominance over their opponent. Now the Citizens have the longest unbeaten streak in Champions League history, 26 matches. Of course, referring to regular time. Matteo Koen became the main hero of Manchester City, scoring a penalty and assisting twice. The Portuguese once again showed the depth of the Citizens squad. When such a player sits on the bench and comes out in the Premier League only at the end of matches, it speaks volumes about the level of the team. The midfielder's technique is simply mesmerizing. It's as if the ball is magnetized to his foot. If you let him loose in the center of the field with the coach, it seems you could play with just 2 or 3 passes, with midfielders carrying the ball exclusively through dribbling. Erling Haaland scored a truly miraculous goal yesterday, in my humble opinion, the best of his career. Erling closed the pass with his heel in mid-air and in a completely unnatural position. The 2-meter Scandinavian folded like a gymnast and scored with his heel. We have seen something similar before. Be sure to check it out in our Telegram. England came out on top in the season rankings because Manchester City and Liverpool won, while Benfica lost. Now the Premier League has a solid lead, and everything points to the fact that the 5th team in the Premier League this season will receive a direct ticket to the main stage of the Champions League. This is great news for all Premier League fans. In the last draw, it seemed somewhat strange that the strongest league was left without additional tickets. So far, only 2 teams have won all their matches in the new format of the Champions League, Liverpool and Aston Villa. Italy risks being left without tickets this season. Juventus couldn't cope with Stuttgart, Bologna drew 0-0, and Atalanta only managed to grab 3 points against Celta. Inter, at one point in the match, seemed to miss Didi's party, otherwise, they would have known what to do with young boys. Barcelona finally managed to take revenge on Bayern for the shameful 2-8 and beat Munich in the same crushing style, winning 4-1. For those who missed this match, I sympathize. Make sure to check out the review in our Telegram channel at the link in the description and pinned comments because this game is worth watching. Both teams showed an incredible rhythm. At some points, the ball hardly touched the center of the field at all. It flew from one goal to another, creating danger every time. The result could have been different if Bayern had been a bit luckier in the opening minutes. Just look at the offside Harry Kane was in when Munich scored their return goal. Another goal at that moment could have shaken the opponent's confidence. In fact, Hans Flick destroyed his counterpart. It was just brilliant. I didn't even understand at first what Barcelona was doing by giving the ball to Bayern after scoring in the first minutes. This was the strangest thing. What can you do in such a situation? Then everything fell into place. Forgive me, Gr Flick, for doubting your decision. You knocked everyone down. After a minute, you figured out Bayern's tactical plan for the game and made a couple of cool strategic changes. It was enough just to change the arrangement of Barcelona's players, and that was it. Bayern was overwhelmed, and Munich's defense has never been known for its reliability, so by the end of the first half, the scoreboard showed 3-1 in favor of Barcelona. In the second half, nothing changed except that the Bayern players got tired of trying to press the Catalans so aggressively, and then it was time for the Barca players to show off on the field. To be honest, they were just toying with their opponent. Pedri faced 3 Bayern players so calmly that it seemed he was playing against some kids. What can I say? Even defenders like Martinez and Alejandro Balde almost outplayed the entire Munich defense, despite Balde not being a specialized striker. His shot was blocked in that episode, but all the Catalans involved in the attacks showed no fear, leaving the Bayern players feeling. The Catalans didn't stop there and continued to press hard until the final whistle, showcasing their superior technique and tactical discipline. This victory not only served as redemption for Barcelona but also highlighted their resurgence in European football. The fans celebrated loudly, with the atmosphere in the stadium electrifying as the team secured such a resounding win against one of their biggest rivals. Bayern, on the other hand, faced serious questions about their defensive organization and overall strategy under Flick. They had entered the match with high hopes but were outclassed, particularly in the midfield, where Barcelona's players dominated possession and dictated the pace of the game. The defeat will likely lead to intense discussions within the club regarding player roles and formations as they prepare for future matches in both the Bundesliga and Champions League. In conclusion, this week in football was marked by stunning performances, with both individual brilliance and team tactics on display. Whether it was Haaland's breathtaking goal, De Bruyne's potential move, or Barcelona's emphatic victory over Bayern, the drama and excitement of the sport continue to captivate fans around the world. Stay tuned for more updates and insights in the coming days as we continue to cover all the latest from the football world. Highlights of the Champions League matches can be watched on the Football Touch Telegram channel. Link in the channel description. Thank you for being with us. I wish you a great day and see you in the next episodes.